Hey!
Stop! Stop! Go forward, go forward, go forward.
Snow and Kurt are a nomadic couple who document their travels through remote parts of Central America on YouTube. In 2021, pandemic restrictions had made finding safe camping spots incredibly difficult. And after spending hours on the road looking for somewhere to settle for the night, they eventually decided to check out a beach called Playa Hermosa.
I think we're going to go up here to this next beach, Playa Hermosa, and check it out. Not sure if we're going to be able to stay there or not. And if not, we do have a place where we can come back here and stay, worst case scenario. So we're just going to go out and explore. Rhythm of the road, guys, rhythm of the road.
And honestly, when they got there, it seemed like the search was finally over. Nice spot right on the beach, beautiful view of the ocean and the islands, one other family nearby but otherwise completely to themselves. It looked perfect. There was one concern though. There was a small river they had crossed on the way in to reach the beach, and Kurt had been watching it for about 15 minutes.
All right, so we got here to Playa Hermosa, and we had to do this little river crossing right here to get out to the beach. We're out high on the beach, and we have a really nice spot. There's a family here, but other than that, we're out here by ourselves. We have a beautiful view of the ocean and the islands, but I have a little concern. I talked to the guy. He said there's no problem with the tide coming up to the van. We should be good there. But the concern I have is this river is getting higher actually fairly quickly. And so I don't want to get stuck on this island, because if we get an unusual high tide, we're stuck. And it's not going to be too much longer before we can't even cross this and we're stranded. And I don't want that. I already told Snow I think we're safe on the island, but I've been watching this little spot for about 15 minutes and it's just not worth it, guys. So we're going to try to do something else. I don't know what. Kind of running out of spots out in this area, so I got to go talk to Snow and see what we're gonna do, but I just don't feel comfortable staying here. So we just crossed that river. I was watching it kind of go up, and it looked like all of a sudden it was going up pretty fast, at kind of an accelerated pace. And look at it right now. It is full length wide, and you can see the little island out there right there. And there's water on that side, and there's water on the other side as well. So we literally would have been stranded on an island. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been some earthquakes out here in the last few days, just off the coast, 6.8. There hasn't been any tsunamis registered, but there has been a lot of activity. And my fear was that if something happened, we'd be stranded out there, big wave or something comes in, we'd have nowhere to go. Not a smart move, so we're out of here.
Good thing too, because by the time they crossed back over, the river had spread completely full length across its banks with water on both sides. The spot they had just been parked on was basically a surrounded island with no way back in or out. Had they stayed and gone to sleep, they would have woken up completely stranded with nowhere to go. Anyway, they kept driving.
I guess what we expect. It is rainy season.
It's raining.
Yeah, so the adventure continues and takes another turn as it starts pouring down rain. We've got another spot in mind. So, routine police checkpoint.
Yep.
Nothing special. Got right through. Still raining. Still looking for a can spot.
Nothing's changed.
Weather conditions only got worse, but hours later when the rain appeared to slow, they eventually found another spot near a waterfall. Honestly, it looked stunning. But almost immediately it started pouring down rain again, and the river started rising right onto the road they were parked on.
Parked up here at the top of a waterfall, beautiful vista, and all of a sudden it started pouring down rain, and this river started coming down the road that we were in, the waterfall, the whole river started rising. We backed up out of there at emergency, four-wheel drive. If you can see it, it is a river and a flood.
We are not out yet, Curdy.
We are not out yet. We got to get out, but I wanted to show you guys what's going on. We are in a river. We are going.
In near total darkness, with water flooding in around the van, they had to move fast. neither of them able to see clearly, trying to figure out which direction to go without sliding into the current.
I can't see on your side.
I don't have the case to put this away. Stop! 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 Go forward, go forward, go forward. Go forward. Okay, turn left. Go right up here and stop. Just go right up here into these trees and stop. Okay, stop. In case we did anything to the van, we should stop.
I need to get up.
They made it out though, but had they waited even a few more minutes, they honestly would not have. It is pretty terrifying to think about what could have happened had Kurt not trusted that feeling and decided to leave when he did. Never camp in low-lying riverbeds or tidal islands. If water starts rising rapidly, abandon the vehicle immediately and flee to high ground on foot before the current overpowers you. Ian is a 30-year-old YouTuber who has been posting on the platform for nearly a decade. His content covers everything from day-in-the-life vlogs to late-night adventures. And while most of it is pretty lighthearted, one particular night left him genuinely shaken. On January 18th, 2024, Ian posted a video talking about a disturbing experience he had while stealth camping in a McDonald's parking lot in Palm Springs, California. Stealth camping, for those who don't know, is basically when someone spends the night in their vehicle somewhere that isn't officially designated for camping, usually while trying to go completely unnoticed. People do it for all sorts of reasons: necessity, curiosity, or just for the experience. And while it can be totally harmless, it also means you are completely exposed and vulnerable to whoever might be lurking nearby. This is exactly what happened to Ian on the 16th of January 2024. He had been stealth camping for a while by that point and had already survived much tougher conditions. Heavy rain, sandstorms, you name it. So honestly, a McDonald's parking lot seemed like one of the easier nights he had ever done. Unfortunately, that turned out not to be the case. After getting settled, he went to lie down in the back of his car. But just as he was drifting off, he heard someone repeatedly trying to open his passenger door. He sat up immediately and found a man standing right outside.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing?
What made it even more unsettling, though, was that the man said absolutely nothing, not a single word, even as Ian kept calling out, trying to get some kind of response out of him. Despite the panic, Ian made the smart call and stayed locked inside.
What's up? What are you doing, man? Ain't weird, bro.
Quickly moving to a different spot in the lot, but that still wasn't enough. Just a few minutes later, he spotted the exact same man drifting around the parking lot, seemingly trying to figure out where Ian's car had gone. Eventually, Ian drove to a completely different location and managed to get through the rest of the night without any more trouble. But the question that remained was pretty hard to shake. Who was this man and what did he actually want? Ian never posted any follow-up, so honestly we can only guess. It's possible he was just someone not fully aware of what he was doing, which might explain why he never responded and eventually just walked away. But a far more likely explanation is that the whole thing was completely intentional, and when he got caught, he simply played confused to seem less threatening. Maybe he genuinely thought the car was empty and was trying to steal it. Or maybe he knew someone was inside and had something far worse in mind. Either way, his behavior also suggested he could have been under the influence of something which would have made him even more unpredictable and dangerous. Fortunately, Ian got out of there before he could find out what the man actually wanted. And honestly, that decision to stay locked inside is probably what kept him safe that night. Because the moment you step outside to confront someone like that, you have already given up your biggest advantage. Keep your doors deadlocked and never roll down the window or step outside to confront an unresponsive, potentially unstable prowler. Chris Baird is a YouTuber who has been documenting paranormal investigations and haunted location visits on his channel for years. His content covers everything from abandoned buildings to locations with genuinely dark histories. And while most of his videos are unsettling by design, one particular night in a forest in New York State ended up being something even he wasn't prepared for. On this night, Chris and his friend Jazz drove their camper van deep into a stretch of woodland locals refer to as the Demon Forest.
Forest, one of the craziest places we've ever been. We've been here for about 6 hours now. We're actually getting ready to go to bed. We had to pick a new campsite because of what we just experienced in this forest. This is terrifying. The footage you guys are about to watch is going to be scary. Please, if you guys can't handle it, watch with a friend, leave the lights on. I do not recommend watching this video with the lights off. It might scare you too much.
A place with over a century of reported occult activity, unexplained disappearances, and murders attached to its name. They had done their research before going in.
It's been a hot minute. We were gone for so long on the trip in Indiana and Ohio. What?
Deception.
Deception.
Okay.
Okay.
What was that though? Hello?
Honestly, it didn't make much difference. They had barely left the van when the spirit box produced a name. Not a random word either. An actual specific name connected to a real disappearance from these exact woods back in the 1980s. A man who went into that forest and was never seen again. And before Chris could even process what he was hearing, footsteps landed right beside them in the dark.
We've been hearing some weird stuff.
Brian.
What the That was like a footstep, like...
Bro.
I just told you too, I was like, I love filming when it's fall time because you can hear, it's like if something approached us, and that literally sounded
Look,
like...
right there. The name Brian is the name from a story I found. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Okay, so just give me a rundown. Like, what happened to Brian?
So Brian was essentially, the person who told the story was a viewer of ours, a fan. Their uncle Brian went missing in the 1980s.
Oh, fuck.
One missing was never found. I believe they were involved in some like gang type
Is it okay if
motorcycle
we
club
even
activities.
film this then? I don't want to like, if it's a
But
touchy subject.
where we are, it's a big area. I don't.
Right.
We're not, probably not even near where this all happened.
It's a common name.
No, it's a common name,
Okay,
but it's
okay.
just very weird that the timing of that. What?
I swear to God, I thought I just saw something over here.
What?
I didn't want to die here.
Shut the f up. Shut the f up. Okay.
Okay,
This is getting weird. This is so weird, dude. Guys,
Close enough that Jazz spun around immediately. They eventually made their way back to the van. That is when Chris noticed something was off. His bag had been completely zipped shut when they left. It was now wide open.
All right, we're gonna...
Hello. Bro, did you hear that?
Yes, I heard that. You see me, you hear me. This is crazy.
Find my grave.
Find my grave.
Brian.
Where is your grave?
Oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now, dude.
Oh! Chris! What was that?
The van! The van!
No way. There's no way. Get the fuck out of here. Who's out here?
The flashlight that had been packed inside it was sitting out at the front. The van had been locked the entire time. Nobody else was supposed to be out there. Hours passed and both of them finally started settling down to sleep with the forest quiet around them. Then, without any warning, the entire van shook hard, like something had hit it from outside with full force. Both of them were upright before they were even fully awake.
Children.
Your children? Bro, look at my bag. Look at my bag.
What's wrong with it?
It was zipped up and closed when we left. You can check the footage. There's no shot, dude.
You told me to grab your flashlight from here.
Wasn't like that?
No, your
Did it
flashlight
like
was
that?
up front. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, you can check the footage back. I don't... Well, at least it didn't take your muffin.
Dude, I need that.
No, but seriously, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. Are your stuff still here? Actually,
Get in here because I really don't want to be here now.
I don't need it. Lock the door, close the door.
Seconds later, a whistle came from directly outside. Then Chris's flashlight switched itself off with nobody anywhere near it. All of it happening within seconds of each other, deep in a locked van in the middle of nowhere. Nobody has ever been able to fully explain what happened inside that forest that night. And honestly, that is probably the most unsettling part of all.
Wait, what the fuck?
What happened?
My light just died.
Wait, what?
My light just shut off.
Hold on.
Bro, no one touched it. My camera's... My light just fucking died.
There's gotta be a flashlight here somewhere.
Yeah.
It did. It died. Holy shit.
See anything out there?
Is there anything?
Seconds later, a whistle came from directly outside. Then Chris's flashlight switched itself off with nobody anywhere near it. All of it happening within seconds of each other, deep in a locked van in the middle of nowhere. Nobody has ever been able to fully explain what happened inside that forest that night. And honestly, that is probably the most unsettling part of all. Alyssa is a woman from the US who runs a YouTube channel called Alyssa Vanilla, where she documents her car camping adventures across America. Her channel is basically a personal diary capturing both the beautiful and challenging moments of van life as she travels to different scenic spots throughout the country. And while most of her videos are pretty lighthearted, one particular upload from October 2022 turned into something a lot more disturbing than she was expecting.
So, I am currently camping in the desert outside of Tucson on some BLM land because I've been really excited to go to Quartzsite all year. I'm really excited to spend the winter there. But right now it's pretty much 100 degrees. In fact, next week it's going to be over 100 degrees every day there. And I'm just testing to see if I can handle it. Currently I think it's like 96 degrees and I'm parked, as you can kind of see by the shadow, in front of a tree.
Alyssa had set up camp on some BLM land out in the desert outside of Tucson. The video starts off peacefully enough with her showing viewers around her campsite and going about her usual van life routine. The desert backdrop honestly feels calm and isolated at first, more peaceful than threatening, but that atmosphere didn't last very long.
Hi.
Doing okay?
Yes, I am.
I'm just kind of checking, making sure everybody's got enough water and...
Oh, okay. Are you a ranger or?
No, I just live close.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of come out and check, make sure, because I know there's a lot of people that come out here that don't have a lot.
I'm fine right now. I don't know if I'll stay here, but I just wanted to check it out and see. It's pretty hot though.
Do you do this, like, is this what you do for a living? Do you, like, travel around or what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Yep,
So
gotta
how long
wait.
have you been doing this for?
I've been in the van for like almost a year, last November, so getting close. But I was traveling around in my car since 2020, so it's been a while.
So you've been a nomad for a while.
Yeah, yes, I'm used to it.
And you're enjoying it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, well, just so you know, so you're not worried, I drive by when I'm here. I actually work in Colorado. I live here, like a mile and a half from here.
Okay.
And so I kind of drive through when I'm here, just checking on people, making sure they got water, got what they need.
Cool.
So if you do stay, I'll see you again, but that's all I'm doing.
All right.
Nothing spooky.
Okay.
While she was going about her business cleaning her van, a man on an ATV suddenly pulled up out of nowhere. He introduced himself and told her he lived about 1.5 miles away, and that he regularly drove through the area checking on people camping out there, making sure they had enough water and whatever else they might need.
I had shit stolen from my house 2 years ago. So 2 years ago I started doing that. I started making myself open to people that were out here, giving them my name so they knew who I was, so they saw my face, and you know what? It's worked for me. Nobody steals shit from my house anymore.
And what is your name?
Johnny. If you need water, I have a hose outside that runs all the time. You're willing to stop there, fill your water jugs, whatever you need. And those that I get to know well enough that I trust, they're welcome to actually come in and use the shower a couple times a week. I'm not home. My wife is. My children are. So if you need a shower, you're welcome to, come by. Probably would work better, since you're a female, it would probably work better if you came by while I was there a couple of times. Just so my wife gets to know you, so she doesn't doesn't think there's something stupid going on.
Right.
But, you know, if you need a shower or something, that's not a problem. But, you know, if you want to stop by, it's not a problem.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right.
All right.
I'll let you have your evening.
All right, enjoy your rounds.
He even went as far as telling her she could come use the shower at his home, suggesting she stop by while he was there first so his wife could get to know her. To a lot of people watching this interaction might seem completely harmless, just a friendly local checking in. But watching Alyssa's body language throughout the whole thing, it was pretty clear she was growing increasingly uncomfortable. Out there in the middle of a remote desert with nobody else around, a strange man approaching a solo female traveler on her own creates an immediately tense situation. You honestly never know what someone's true intentions might be. What happens next, though, confirms that Alyssa's instincts were completely right.
Just about to start talking about how the good thing about being out here at this time of year that there's no one else out here. As you can see, there's no RVs in the background or anything. But as I was filming, I heard an ATV approaching, and it was getting closer and closer, and I realized I was definitely coming to me because I'm kind of in a spot. It's not on a main road out here in the dirt. So sure enough, a guy on an ATV comes and stops by and is just talking to me about, he says that he makes rounds out here and makes sure everybody has water, I guess, checks on people because he lives out here.
While she was explaining to her viewers why she had chosen this particular isolated spot to camp, multiple male voices suddenly became audible somewhere in the distance, which suggested something pretty concerning. Not only had the man not actually left like he implied, but he wasn't out there alone either. Then he came back.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
so you have a guy
Uh-huh.
on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's driving a older Dodge pickup, and he told me he comes out here and offers water
Uh-huh.
to people. But I would stay away from him. He told me he parks up there and looks around to see who might need water, who might need this, who might need that. And I was like, I turned and looked and went, well, her fucking camper is right in the open.
Yeah. So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up, looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water. So anyway, he's, see that white truck? Underneath the tree?
I'm right in the tree view, so.
Alright, come out here and I'll show you. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's also just odd that there's not really anybody out here.
Get a good description of that truck.
It was a white truck.
It's white and burgundy. Honestly, I'd move to the other side.
So, I mean, I did want to stay because it's nice out here and it's quiet, but if there's somebody watching me, then obviously I don't think I should stay out here at all.
Well, that's fine. That's your choice too.
Yeah.
The same man returned on his ATV a second time. This time he had a different story. He claimed he had spotted another man parked up on a nearby hill with binoculars pointed in Alyssa's direction, watching her. And while warning her about that on the surface might seem helpful, several things about it felt immediately wrong. His ATV was now positioned directly in front of her van, blocking her only real exit. And then he suggested she hop on the back of his vehicle so he could take her up the hill to see this supposed stranger for herself, which would have meant leaving the safety of her van entirely and going somewhere remote with a man she had literally just met. Alyssa didn't go anywhere. She told him she would stay put and drive away on her own when she was ready.
It's always easier to do housekeeping out in the open rather than in the city somewhere. So just finishing up my laundry and then I'll probably have to leave, but that's okay. Do you need anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
While she hurriedly finished up her laundry and got everything packed, the man just sat there on his ATV staring at her for an uncomfortably long time until she finally managed to get in her van and drive away to safety.
Drove as far as I could away from the desert BLM land. So the guy that I was talking about earlier, the one who stopped to see if I need water, came back. The thing is, after his first visit, I was not going to stay at the BLM land because I was just sensing some red flags, and maybe it's just me being paranoid, but there are a lot of people who would love to take advantage of someone like me, someone who's young, by themselves, living in a vehicle out in the middle of nowhere by themselves. So I just went with my instinct and I was gonna leave because he said that he drives around seeing if anyone needs water, but he had no water with him. He was on an ATV, so that was weird. And then something else that gets me with people is over-explaining. So when I, asked him if he was a ranger and he said no, he said he does this because a few years ago someone stole stuff from his house, which has nothing to do with giving people water in the desert. So it's just weird he went on the story about, somebody has stole from me before, so okay. And I decided, I was going to do my laundry and then leave. And I was finishing my laundry and he came back. I saw his ATV turn towards me and he tells me that someone has been watching me.
In the final part of the video, Alyssa broke down every single red flag she had noticed throughout the whole encounter. She pointed out that despite claiming to check on people who needed water, he had absolutely no water on him at all. She also admitted she wasn't entirely convinced the man on the hill even existed and suspected the whole story might have been invented just to get her away from her van. Her viewers completely agreed. Many pointed out how the prolonged staring could have been him working out his next move. Others highlighted his question, "Would someone notice if you went missing?" as honestly one of the biggest red flags of the entire situation. Whatever his true intentions were that day, Alyssa made the right call by not following him anywhere near that hill. It is pretty terrifying to think about what could have happened if she had. Never leave the physical armor of your vehicle on the word of a stranger. If someone pressures you to abandon your mobile base, treat it as an immediate threat and drive away. Will is a YouTuber from England who runs a channel called Will's Whereabouts. He has been sharing his van building, wild camping, and solo stealth car camping adventures on the platform for nearly a decade, and has built up a pretty dedicated following along the way. And while most of his uploads are exactly what you would expect from that kind of channel, one video he posted on January 11th, 2021 was something completely different from anything he had done before. It was supposed to be just another stealth camping video. The opening scenes show Will getting a meal ready with a friend, chatting and cooking the way he usually would. After finishing up, he packed his van and headed out to find a quieter, more secluded spot where he could settle in for the night. The location he eventually chose was deep in the backcountry near the forest of Box Hill.
I think this will do for tonight's stealth camping. So tonight's stealth camp is here, and then we have the forest of Box Hill just here. I will of course show you guys exactly where I'm camping in the morning when it brightens up. There's no doubt that tonight is going to get cold, and I'm talking cold for somebody that doesn't have a heating system in this car.
Isolated, completely cut off from civilization, the kind of place that looks perfectly peaceful until the sun goes down. Once he arrived and got himself set up, he followed his usual routine and settled in for the night. But as the temperature started dropping and the hours passed, something began to change. It started with a low, ominous vibration that seemed to ripple through the ground around the car. Then came the sounds. Heavy rustling and sharp cracks of breaking branches coming from somewhere in the pitch-black undergrowth right outside. Whatever was out there was close, and then the silence was completely shattered. Screaming, loud piercing screaming cutting straight through the trees from somewhere nearby. The kind of sound that honestly stops you cold because it sounds exactly like a person, like someone in genuine agony or being actively attacked somewhere out there in the dark. Will had no idea what to make of it. He just sat there in his van, listening to it and trying to work out what on earth was happening outside.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight. There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming. Wish me luck, everybody.
When he eventually uploaded the video, his viewers immediately started filling the comments with theories. Some were convinced it sounded human, like screams of pain from someone being attacked or possibly worse. Others suggested foxes as the most likely explanation, and honestly, that second theory is worth paying attention to. During mating season, the red fox produces a specific vocalization known as the vixen scream, a high-pitched cry that is acoustically almost identical to a human woman screaming in extreme pain or terror. It is so convincing that it regularly triggers emergency police dispatches from campers who are absolutely certain they are hearing a violent crime taking place somewhere in the wilderness. Brendan Explores is a YouTube channel run by Brendan, a van lifer from the UK who documents his stealth camping adventures across the country. His content is pretty much built around finding interesting and sometimes unusual places to spend the night in his van. And while most of his videos are entertaining and relatively uneventful, one particular upload from February 2024 turned into something he definitely wasn't expecting. On this night, Brendan decided to spend the night in the small village of Jaywick in England. Now, the thing about Jaywick is that it has actually been named the most deprived town in the whole of England. The combination of high unemployment and difficult living conditions has pushed a number of its residents toward a life of crime over the years. Brendan, however, wanted to see the place for himself and make up his own mind about whether it was really as bad as the media made it out to be. And honestly, his first impressions weren't too bad at all. He was actually admiring the natural landscape surrounding the village as he drove through. What he didn't realize at the time, though, was that this light-hearted little escape to the countryside was about to spiral into complete disaster. He eventually found a parking lot that looked promising and decided to settle in for the night. But it didn't take long before he started picking up on a series of red flags around him. People riding past with loud music blaring, a group of street racers tearing down the road right in front of where he was parked. And as the evening went on, he found himself completely alone in the lot, which honestly made him feel like a pretty easy target. So after thinking about it for a few minutes, he decided to move and find somewhere more secluded. He eventually found a dirt lane and parked up in the middle of nowhere with no houses or roads anywhere nearby. It seemed perfect. That turned out to be the worst decision he could have made.
I think someone's outside the van.
At around 2:30 in the morning, about 4 hours after he had gone to sleep, he was woken up by the sound of someone walking around outside his van. Then whoever it was tried the sliding door, and before Brendan even had a chance to fully process what was happening, they shattered the passenger side window and ran off the moment he started shouting.
Hey!
In his video description, Brendan speculated that whoever it was had probably been trying to steal the mini refrigerator sitting on his passenger seat. And judging by the fact that they fled the moment they heard him, that is probably a fair assessment. They were most likely just looking to grab something quickly and get out. As for how they even found him parked up in the middle of nowhere, it's entirely possible they had actually followed him from town without him realizing. And as one commenter pointed out, a few people with their hoods up and armed would have been a completely different situation. Brendan wouldn't have stood a chance. Nothing truly tragic happened that night, but it was enough to rattle him pretty badly. Instead of trying to sleep, he drove through the darkness until daybreak just to get himself home, which was honestly the right call. He is still making stealth camping videos, but these days he is a lot more careful about where he chooses to park, especially when it comes to remote or isolated spots. And honestly, that is the lesson here. Avoid parking down dead-end, unlit roads far from any help. Total seclusion might feel safer, but it actually gives anyone with bad intentions the perfect cover to break into your vehicle without any chance of being seen.